Story number 4. Many countries that live good may still have a lot of people suffering. This story, it was just destined to make it into the top 8 because I haven't even been able to figure this out myself. There are countries that have tons of an abundance of wealth, and people cannot figure out why there are still people suffering. Middle East, China, United States. There's countries with oil fields. I mean, and people are still on the streets. Now, the reason why this story made it because there's some key stories that headlines that made it that made this story what it is. People from China risked their life sneaking into the UK. There were 39 Chinese people found dead in a refrigerated truck. Now, they've been migrating from China. Now, China has one of the biggest economies in the world, and there are still people suffering. We see the protests in Hong Kong, people fighting for civil rights, for freedom from the government. Why is this the case? Is government made to be evil and to keep people down? These are the questions you have to ask yourself. Even there are so many forms of government where people get in charge, or is it just the people who are running the governments? Iran cuts off man's fingers for theft. What amazes me about this story is you look at like a religion like Christianity, where it says he who is without sin cast the first stone, and you see countries that still have brutal laws in place for people who steal. And it makes you wonder what is actually who do you follow? And even when you look at the United States policies, where the prisons are packed, everybody's breaking the law, and they don't really so it may be a mind thing, but a story like this has the ability to grow because people are still suffering within these big countries. Frustrated Portland business owners say homeless crisis absolutely are driving customers away. So business owners upset about the homeless crisis. Now, I think people give a lot of money to nonprofits, Salvation Army, Rescue Mission. They want to see these companies grow to get people off the street. Business owners invest into them. That's why story number 4 is unbelievable, because even Christ himself said there would always be poor people. Like I said, this isn't a religious program, but it's to keep you informed. But it has to make you think. Like, you have churches almost on every corner. Have people just lost their way, or is it something happening within the dynamics of human beings that we've somewhere got lost along the way? Kim Jong-un says his relationship with Donald Trump is special. Now, you're talking about a country where the people are suffering in North Korea, and the government is trying to find nuclear weapons, popping off missiles. A story like this is not only scientific, but it tickles the imagination to wonder why aren't these governments finding better ways to feed their people? Then we see all of these protests happening within these administrations, within these countries. This is an interesting story, and it has the ability to get bigger. 3 children found living ankle deep in trash in a house with 245 animals. 4 American airline flight attendants arrested at Miami airport accused of money laundering. Is there enough money? You have a full-time job. There are still people suffering. You could even take it even to GM and how some people have actually made a living career out of GM, and people around them are watching them when they're facing adversity or controversy and saying, I've been able to live on a $10 an hour job, and they still don't feel like. So this is the workers at GM still don't feel like they're getting paid enough. So this story is it's like a episode of a sci-fi episode where you wonder, is it all in the human mind about how much we can obtain, or how much we can. A story like this definitely has the ability to grow. 2 Texas women arrested after allegedly beating a 12-year-old student in a revenge attack. So you look at these stories, people beating each other, stabbing, committing crimes, and in countries that have a lot, getting their hands cut off by government officials, fingers. This is a big story. Protests that made headlines. The protests that you see happening in Chile, Lebanon, other Iraq. Most of these protests are either about anti-government or money that is not being spent wisely on the people. Is there some miscommunication going on? But these protests are mainly about spreading the wealth. That's why story number 4 is it's unbelievable how these stories can make it in. An Ohio woman sold meth to put her kids through college. She sold meth and amphetamine. She was killing other people to put her children through school. Abortions, folks, you have to look at the human mind and all of its reasoning and intellect. Why are people doing these things? I mean, it has not only high-level officials wondering, but it is a normal phenomenon that happens in human nature, and it is very scary to see these stories making it into the top 8, because countries that have it good, for some odd reason, they still have a lot of people suffering, migrating, mass exodus from their own community, war, a lot of resources, an abundance of wealth. We see it in Saudi Arabia. We see it all over the globe. An abundance of wealth. People get a hold of their religious laws. Somehow they get a hold of something and they start killing everybody and genocides. A story like this definitely has all the talking points to not only tickle the imagination, but have you wondering do you have it that bad? Do I have it that bad? When you if you live in a country where you could file bankruptcy, go get a loan, you may thought your financial situation was rough, folks. There are people who have it very, very even bad, worse if that's the word. Some people can't even get credit cards. Some people are just out on the street, period. They don't have a job, on drugs, on cocaine. So this story number 4, it has all of the ability to become a talking point, and it has people wondering. Story number 4, and that's why I made it to the top 8 this week. You're in the Mediator with me, Brian West, where it's my duty every week to smile at the camera, give you what you need. All of your daily dose of vitamin news, giving you the stories that made it to the top 8. So if you want to be a contributor, it doesn't take much. METHOD, the number 8, INC.com, Method8.com, where you can buy something, click on something, watch something, read something, or this sponsor program. Constantly reminding my audience that I'm just a mediator, staying in the middle, navigating from the left to right, watching the pendulum shift from the left to the right. Find the news stories that are most beneficial to you, that can help you out on your daily walk, give you the inspiration you need, give you the understanding of what is actually happening. Why can't we all just get along? Nobody knows. Raised as a child up to the masses to mediate. I'm here to give you some answers, or try my best to give you the understanding that why can't we all just get along? Who knows? But there are some things happening in the news that may keep you informed. So if you want to be a contributor or check out the stories that almost made it in or did make it in, METHOD, the number 8, INC.com, Method8.com, where you can buy something, click on something, watch something, read something, or the sponsor program. If you need help, then dial your operator.
Have no fear, fellow citizens. The Mediator is here.